More than 1.5 billion people, or 24% of the world population, are infected with soil-transmitted helminth infections. They are transmitted by eggs present in human feces, which in turn contaminate the soil in areas where sanitation is poor. Helminth infections are linked to a lack of sanitation, and these are transmitted by eggs present in human feces, which in turn contaminate the soil. Soil-transmitted helminths refer to the intestinal worms infecting humans, and these follow a general life cycle. The parasites in adult stages inhabit part of the host intestines, reproduce sexually, and produce eggs, which are passed to human feces and deposited in the external environment. Adult worms have the lifespan of 1 to 2 years, which means that individuals may be infected all their lives as worms die and new worms are acquired. The study could open the mind of the people in considering the use of traditional medicine plants that is efficient and advantageous in the treatment of infection from parasitical worms. Complete removal of the parasites from the host's body is the goal of the therapy. Helminths remain a major cause of morbidity and mortality. While excellent drugs are available to treat many helminth infections, they remain relatively expensive and difficult to administer systematically. In situations where so many other vital needs compete for the limited resources, pomegranate, scientifically known as Punica granatum family Litraceae, is one of the oldest of drugs. The bark of it is well known for its anthelmintic properties. An alkaloid called pellityrene has the capability of expelling tapeworms from the host body. That is why the researchers came up to study the anthelmintic activity of the alkaloids from the bark of Punica granatum. Okay na. Go.
The aim of this present research is to evaluate the anthelmintic activity of alkaloids from the barks of Punica granatum. The specific objective number 1 is to isolate the alkaloids from the barks of Punica granatum. The ground bark Punica granatum, weighing 100 grams, was macerated using 95% ethyl alcohol. The sample then was filtered and the mark was discarded. The filter then was subjected to rotary evaporator and the plant extract was evaporated to syrupy consistency. And it will be dissolved in 20 ml of 0.1 normal sulfuric acid in 30 minutes. Then it was transferred to a separatory funnel by drops. 0.1 normal ammonium hydroxide was continuously added to make it alkaline using red litmus paper. Then 15 ml of chloroform was added to the sample and was allowed to stand for 5 minutes. 2 layers in separatory funnel was observed, an aqueous layer and an organic layer. Organic layer was collected and aqueous layer was discarded. The extraction was done thrice. The collected organic layer was transferred to a tiered weight evaporating dish and lastly it was evaporated until alkaloid crystals were observed and then weighed. The weight of the sample is 100 grams. The weight of the alkaloidal residue is 0.46 grams and the percentage yield is 0.46%. The specific objective number 2 is to determine the concentration of the alkaloidal extract that will exhibit an effective anthelmintic action. Among those 3 concentrations, 375 mg per 5 ml possessed a great effect in terms of paralyzing and killing the helminths with an average time of 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 33 seconds, and 2 hours and 45 minutes respectively. The specific objective number 3 is to compare the anthelmintic activity of Punica granatum alkaloidal extract with a standard drug. The anthelmintic activity is comparable to the positive control, and these both have the activity of paralyzing and causing death of the worms. This is due to their viburnary structures, which can be both found in the alkaloids of Punica granatum and in the standard pyretyl pamoate.
For the method, survival method was used to determine the time of paralysis and the time of death of worms. Ascaris-suum, a parasite that occurs in pig, was used as test organism because it is very closely related to the Ascaris lumbricoides. The determination of the gender is based on its length, wherein the female Ascaris-suum is longer and wider than males. The exo was tested for the physical properties such as its odor, color, and appearance, and the results are the following. Yellow to dark brown in color, then aromatic in odor, and sticky to solid in appearance. The extract were dissolved using water, 95% ethyl alcohol, chloroform, acetone, and benzene. In water, it was insoluble. In benzene, it was slightly soluble, and 95% ethyl alcohol, chloroform, and acetone were soluble. During the chemical test, a heavy precipitating Dragendorf's test is indicated for the presence of the alkaloid.
The negative control was Bunge solution. Parental pamoate served as our positive control. Parental pamoate acts as the polarizing neuromuscular blocking agent, thereby causing sudden contraction followed by paralysis of the helminths. This is the result of causing the worm to lose its grip on the intestinal wall and be passed out of the system by natural process. 3 concentrations were then prepared: 125 milligrams per 5 ml, 250 milligrams per 5 ml, and then 375 milligrams per 5 ml. A measured amount of alkaloids was dissolved in 5 ml of 10% Queen 80 and 100 ml of normal saline solution. While long asker suum ranges from 10 to 11 centimeters were placed in each petri dishes respectively. The time of paralysis and death was observed, timed, and recorded within 6 hours or 360 minutes. According to the statistical analysis, among the 3 concentrations, 375 milligrams per 5 ml shows no significant difference in terms of paralyzing helminths, which means it is comparable to the standard drug. The researchers concluded that the alkaloids from the barks of Punica granatum has a potential anthelmintic effect against Ascaris suum, and the dose of 375 milligrams per 5 ml has the most satisfactory effect in terms of killing and paralyzing the helminths. Therefore, it is comparable with the positive control but in minimal effect. The following recommendations are hereby presented for future scientific studies. Number 1, conduct instrumental method of analysis. Number 2, propagation and cultivation of the granada plant for future scientific studies. Number 3, make use of other constituents present in the plant sample which may exhibit a greater amount of field and anthelmintic action. Number 4, design and conduct formulation which may enhance the pharmaceutical elegance of the product. And lastly is to conduct an in vivo test since the researchers makes use only of in vitro tests. The researchers are promoting this campaign to lessen the risk of helminth manifestation. Malusog na pangangatawan, sikaping mapangalagaan, personal hygiene palaganapin, upang bulati sa tiyan, mawakasan na. We are Group 6, the anthelmintic activity of the alkaloids from the barks of Punica granatum. And here are the members: Charmaine S. Bautista, our lead researcher, Bloca Flor David Kirby S., John Rance L. Hernando, and yours truly, the Rosario Mark Ernest G. Thank you very much, everybody, and God bless us.